What's up, guys? Welcome to the first episode of the Parabellum podcast, and I'm going to be hosting this podcast hopefully pretty often. I'm not going to commit to a designated amount of time because I got shit I got to do, but I'm super excited to be hosting this. I hope you guys are excited to be listening. I plan to have on some pretty awesome people on this podcast, and we're going to talk about everything from fitness to life to anything, really, and I'm super excited about it. So let's kick off our first episode with Cheryl, Coach Cheryl, as I like to call. She is a badass. She, for those of you that are just listening, that aren't watching, she is a badass mom that I've known for a couple of years. I teach her children martial arts. She has purple hair.
That I do.
And she's awesome. So this episode, we're just going to chit chat and see where this takes us.
All right. I'm here for the ride.
All right. So Cheryl, let's start off. Tell us about yourself a little bit. Let's hear what Cheryl's life is like, or what Cheryl's life.
Oh, my life. Okay. Well, I mean, I am a mom.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 11-year-old twins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 35, which sounds like a dirty word, but like I'm embracing it that I'm 35.
Why is 30, like the number 35 is a dirty word?
Because I'm getting up there. Like your kids will tell you die when you hit 40. And I'm like, shit, it's getting kind of close.
That's brutal.
So
I don't think I think I've thought that my mom was like 38 forever. Like,
well,
I think I just realized not too long ago that she turned 50 on her 50th birthday. And I just thought she was like 38 forever.
Eventually you go backwards. Like I had an aunt, like for the longest time, she was 29 till the day she died.
Makes sense.
I don't know when she stopped. I mean, I guess probably she stopped at 29 and she just went backwards. But like, she always told me she was 29. So, but you know, I'm 35 and I'm trying to rock it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be a cool mom.
And you are,
right? Except like
you absolutely
like
are.
Mean Girls. Like I'm the cool mom. So,
do you guys need anything? Some
right?
Snacks, a
bra,
bra,
drink.
Yeah. So you had your kids, so they're 11.
Yes.
Daphne and Colton, who I
you
love
just
and
made
adore.
them famous.
Yes, who I love and adore very much. Daphne will tell you that she's already famous. But so you had them young, and you were married once, and you've lived quite a life, I feel, already.
Yes, I have been married, divorced, and remarried.
Yeah.
I had my kids at 24.
Yeah.
Very planned, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I was that person that wanted to have kids when they were 18.
Wow.
So.
Can't relate.
Can't relate. You can borrow mine.
Okay.
But yeah, like, I've had hardships and ups and downs, and, like, we made it through. Yeah. So, like, it's good.
And you're here killing it.
I'm here. I'm trying. I'm trying to kill it.
So for those of you that don't know who Cheryl is, like I said, Cheryl is a mom, or was just a mom at one point of some kids that I teach martial arts to, but they're not just some kids, they're excellent children. And when I first saw Cheryl, I looked at her and I saw her purple hair and I was like, we're going to be friends. And
now
I had
stuck with me, bitch.
Yeah. I had Corella hair at the time, and I saw, like, anytime I would see people with different colored hair, I'm like, we're going to be friends.
Right.
So here we are. And so we developed an awesome friendship, I feel, and an awesome relationship and mentorship, friendship, whatever, with your kids, who are completely awesome. And your husband also trains with me too,
right?
Which is super awesome.
I still can't believe
exciting.
that actually happened.
I know.
And now he's like gung fucking ho.
Gung ho.
Yeah.
He is gung ho on this, which is awesome. And it was not long ago kind of long ago. I don't know if you would probably know an exact date more so than myself of like when you started to embark on a fitness journey with me.
I know, like, let me pull out my Rolodex.
Yeah.
So I think you and Tyler, like, not that you were approaching me, but you were hearing me talk about
Correct.
like my frustrations.
Correct.
And yeah, I started fitness in December.
That's right.
So it's like June now. Mm-hmm. So that's at least 6 months of fitness commitment.
That's awesome. And you've achieved so much in that time, I feel.
That's trying to remind myself that.
Yeah. Like 6 months is not a long time to do anything.
You know what? I feel like 6 months means I get another pair of leggings because I own 5 right now.
There's that.
Like over time, I've
Yes.
bought myself clothing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're still committed. You can get another workout outfit or something. Like I have
Yeah.
to justify it.
Yeah.
But like, okay, 6 months. Maybe I get pair number 6 now.
There you go. That's exciting. So what kind of made you start, apart from like conversations or, you know, an outside source, meaning me, like coercing you
She's a pusher.
or yeah, being the pusher that I am, if anything like that, like what kind of in you made you want to embark on a fitness journey? Because like you've already had fitness in your past, like you used to run. We were just talking about how you used to run for fun.
Yes.
So what kind of made you want to start all over again?
I think I've always yo-yoed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've done Weight Watchers.
Mm-hmm.
I've done Pilates. I had done kickboxing before.
Mm-hmm.
I had done running.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed all those things in those moments, but I
Yep.
could never stick with it.
Mhm.
Not for more than a couple of months. Or you have kids and like they take up all of your time. And like kids are
Right.
awesome. I love them to pieces.
Mhm.
But they take up all your time and they
Yeah.
are the priority. And only just now is it like this season of life where I can put myself first again.
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of moms
feel that way.
like feel that way and go through that struggle of like you are the last priority.
Right.
But if you want like happy, healthy kids, you need a
Mhm.
happy, healthy mom.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. I feel that sort of thought process or mindset, I feel, is very I'm trying to think of the right word. Very common in all of the fitness women that I teach because they're primarily my blood sport mommies. So I feel like they all have
You
the
got a mommy
same.
crew.
Yeah, I feel like they all have the same like thought process or the same feelings. So I'm glad that you guys are able to make time for yourselves.
It makes me think of this meme where it's like these 4 moms and they're walking down the street and they got their high-waisted jeans and like these big perms and it says like mommy's night out and they're all like sashaying their hips.
Sashay. That's pretty awesome. That's gold. Yeah, so describe how you felt when you first started fitness versus how you feel now. Like in December when it was snowy and cold and it was fucking miserable and you couldn't press 10 pounds over your head.
Oh my God. It was
And how you felt then
horrifying.
versus how you feel now when you come into class. Like explain to me those two things.
So starting fitness was so scary. Like, and I even told you, like, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to come. It's
Yeah.
so fucking, like, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
But, like, I knew I needed to do it. And it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, it's still hard. But I know now that the hard is because I'm, like, really pushing myself.
Right.
And not because I'm weak. But I'm just, like, pushing even harder.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, like, I was weak and, like, I didn't have muscle. I thought I had muscle.
Mhm.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
Not to the extent.
Right.
So I mean, I'm glad I did it. And like, there's still days where I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like, what am I thinking? That couch looks so good.
Yeah. And I think too is like everyone feels that way.
Is it a dirty little secret too?
It is. Like everyone fucking feels that way. Like I feel that way. You know, I
But,
feel
like-
that way too. Like I don't want to work out every day. I don't want to do these things some of the
Right.
time. But it's like it's my job and like I love it. But I don't always feel like it. You know.
Well, you know what's funny is like, I know I'm setting an example.
Right.
And like on the nights where I miss dinner, because like I'm coming here,
Right.
like I'll say bye to the kids and I'll be like, oh, this is me saying goodnight. Like, don't expect me to come in your room later and like come and tuck you in. It's not happening tonight.
Mm.
And they'll be like, kick butt, mom. Show them who's boss.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys are so corny.
But
But like,
it's
they think I'm
awesome.
awesome. In that one little moment, I'm awesome. So like, that's pretty cool because I'm not normally the cool parent.
You're awesome all of the time. And you are the cool parent, I feel. I mean, yeah, like I said, don't feel that. And this is like for everybody. Like when you look at your coach or you look at your trainer or you look at someone who's like, oh yeah, I've been doing fitness for, 3 million years and they own 3 gyms and they've coached a bunch of people, like even they get fucking tired. Like even they don't always want to train. Like yesterday doing that running nonsense, like I did not want to do that, like, and I was trying to convince other people to do it with me, so like I didn't feel so alone doing it.
But did you really do it?
I did. Cheryl didn't believe that I ran a 5K yesterday.
She posted this cute little video online, and she's doing like her swings and her, burpees. I don't know what you did. I watched it though. You'll see my view. And then at the end, she's like, now let's go run a 5K.
Yes.
And I'm like, but did you really?
I really fucking did. I really did. 100%. I totally did. And as I was telling Cheryl beforehand, is like, I ran too much. I ran over 4 miles, which a 5K is only 3.1. And I was telling her about the process, the thought process mine of running a distance, where I just put my Garmin on run, and every time you hit a mile it like will vibrate a certain way, and it did it the first time and I looked and I said, okay, like great, I'm at mile 1, did it again, okay, mile 2, I look, okay, great. I must have missed mile 3 somewhere in my like frustration of running, that I ran 4 miles and it vibrated on the 4th one, and I looked down and I made it back here to the studio.
I was going to say, did you like have someone come and pick you up, or then you like still had to return to your starting point?
I had to run all the way back here.
So does that mean you actually did like 8 miles?
No. So what I did was, so from here to down to Heritage is exactly 1 mile. Maybe it's literally like 0.98.
Okay.
So I ran up like through where you can drive through. Like I just ran the loop and then back down, and that was exactly a mile. So my plan was to run down to Heritage and run back, and that would be 2 miles.
Yep.
So then I would run the common loop.
Yep.
So where our town common, like where the common is, if you go around like the loop of like the buildings where you can go to like the Fisher Auto Parts, and then behind the building, and then like all back again on Cross Street, that is exactly a half of a mile. Okay. So I was going to run down to Heritage, run back, and then do that 2 times. Well, I did it too many times, and I ran far more than was needed and what was expected of me. So I just did the damn thing, but I was miserable doing it. And on the Garmin, like which is really cool, it shows like in color your running speed.
Yes.
So red is like I ran, and then like blue is like I fucking walked. And like there was some points towards the end of like the last couple too many loops that I had done where it was deep blue.
Oh, good girl.
So I just walked.
I mean, what time were you doing this yesterday?
It was like 4 or 5 o'clock, but I started working out at 4, and by the time I ran it was about 5.
So at that time I was at a brewery enjoying some beverages.
Yes.
So I mean,
it's
life
okay.
choices.
Speaking of beverages, we are both having explain this.
So this is the Mai Tai. It is a Mai Tai, but the brand is called On the Rocks.
Okay.
And the mixed drink is called the Mai Tai, and it's made with cruisin' rum. And it is so worth it. You should go to your liquor store, buy it in the bottle. Just put a straw right in it, guys.
Yes, it is very excellent, and I'm very impressed. And we are also drinking out of glasses, which you guys can't really see right now.
I don't mind, have cute little moons on them.
Yeah, we are also drinking out of glasses that were given to me as like a birthday or Christmas gift. I'm not sure which one, because my birthday and Christmas are so close together, but by Sandra.
She's the best.
Sandra is the best, and she is so badass. And I want to shout out to Sandra. If you listen to this or watch this or whatever, I want to shout out to you because I really admire you so much. And the fact that you just had shoulder arm
doing shit
surgery.
Like one armed at class.
She still comes to fitness class, and she does everything one-handed. And I think that is like so
I love
cool.
that you said one-handed, because I couldn't think of it, and I'm like, one arm.
Yeah,
like.
one arm. Just one-handed. Like she's doing one-handed planks or one-armed planks. She's doing just single cleans with her, good
That's
arm.
intense.
Like
I don't think I could do a
she's
one-handed
kickboxing with
plank.
one arm. Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that.
So Sandra, shout out to you. We love you, and thank you very much for these awesome glasses of.
Did you know she also has twins?
I feel like she did tell me that, but I didn't remember until you mentioned it.
Her twins just got like their driver's license and their first car.
Yes.
And like that's my future. And it's so
It's
scary.
coming.
It's
coming.
scary, man.
Daphne and Colton, they're going to be driving here themselves one day. Like, you know.
they can walk. We live down the street.
True. True. But for those of you, I mean, you guys really can't see them because our glasses are not empty. But this one actually has my name like etched in it with like a little kettlebell, and Cheryl's glass has the phases of the moon on it, which I really love. And she made us a couple more. But thank you very much, Sandra, that we get to use these glasses on our podcast. So
yes.
that was very sweet of her. But yeah, so fitness is wild.
Fitness is hard.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking of some of the things that I was going to ask you, and apart from everything we've talked about so far, I wanted to ask you, like, what has been your biggest fitness accomplishment so far? And it doesn't even have to be anything with me. It could have been like running years ago, or it could have been whatever, but what has been your biggest fitness accomplishment that you've achieved?
It's a hard question. Like I said, I've done a lot over the years. Like we grew up having to do some form of self-defense.
Because your dad, for those of you that don't know, your dad also is...
Yeah, so my dad
takes fitness sometimes with me too.
He's coming. He's coming. He told me the other day.
Oh,
he was
really?
like, I can't wait to start Saturdays back up.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so my dad is also a black belt. He owned his own karate school for a while and did that throughout my childhood. So we were always encouraged to do some form of self-defense, be it like Kempo or kickboxing. My sister was the only girl on the high school wrestling team.
Wow.
My brother did Taekwondo. So we all had
your thing.
A thing at one point or another.
Right.
So like that was always instilled in us. And then like I had a personal trainer in my 20s.
And how was that? Like, how was having a personal trainer? Because that was something that I did think about for a little while, like going into like a fitness career of like becoming a personal trainer in the sense. But my mom did that, and like people that I know have gone through the personal training courses, and it just, I've never heard a good story about it. Or I've heard from people of how their personal trainer like wicked sucked, or like they just sat there on their phones and didn't do much of anything, and I just never wanted to do that.
So this person, like it was in her home.
Okay.
And she was good at what she did. And at that point in my life, so I was sick when I was younger, and I was like out of school for a couple of years, and I was home. And so my goals with her was to just keep my body moving.
Right.
So that I wasn't just like sleeping all day. But knowing now, like I'm so much more capable of what I was doing then.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, I wish my body matched what my head knows it can do, if that makes sense. Yeah. But I would say my biggest, I think it's just still coming here.
Yeah.
3 times a week. Like that's my biggest accomplishment, is that I managed to fit that in with 2 kids and a husband and a full-time job.
So that's like a 4th
and
kid.
a house.
Third
yeah.
kid.
There's a lot of kids.
Sorry, Joey.
We love you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. And that's
so I think just the consistency is like my biggest accomplishment.
That's really awesome. And
that I haven't missed a class since I started. No. Except for the week Daphne had surgery.
Right.
And like in my head, that's justified.
Yes.
Other than that.
Yes.
Belly full of the coop and sangria. I still
yes.
came.
She did.
So bad.
She did. It was her children's birthday weekend.
So sick.
And she went to the Coop, which is a local restaurant here.
And you should check it out.
Shout out the Coop.
Food.
Yeah, shout out the Coop. I've actually never even eaten there, but I've heard so many good things about it, especially from Cheryl.
You need to get. It's like.
Do they even have anything I could? Well, you eat there, and we pretty much eat the same things. Yeah,
except like I do more cheese than you do. But so they have a.
That's not by choice.
They
I would eat cheese if my body would let me eat copious amounts of cheese.
They have a house-made veggie burger that you would enjoy. Like I appreciate a good handmade burger as opposed to like a frozen one.
Me too. Totally.
And they have this appetizer. It's like called waffle fry nachos, and it's like everything you would put on a burger, but on top of waffle fries.
Mm-hmm.
And I just asked them to substitute their black bean burger, and they crumble it up.
Yeah.
And they put it all over instead.
Yes.
And it's
Shout out any place who will substitute.
Yeah.
Because our vegan, vegetarian lives need it.
And it's like the dish is massive, and like no lie, it's at least 4 meals. So when I'll order it just for myself, and I'll eat like a tiny little corner, and then I'll eat it again the next day.
Yeah.
And like the next day, and like I don't even know if I ever even finished the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's not expensive, and it's so good, and they make their own sangria on site.
Okay, well, it looks like I am going.
We can make a date. Did you know that? I didn't know that you
Have a
could
lady
make a
date.
reservation. That was my most exciting part, because they're really small. And,
Right.
But yeah, so
Coop.
Coop.
Yeah, the Coop.
And I
Shout
still
out the
came to
Coop.
class.
Yes, so it was her. The whole point of that was it was her children's birthday. And was it Daphne's
That was
request?
Daphne's pick, yeah.
So she has, if you don't mind me explaining about your children, she has 2 children, Daphne and Colton. They are twins. And Daphne is deaf.
Yes.
Is that the, okay.
Nope, yeah.
Daphne is deaf. She has a cochlear implant. So that was what Cheryl was referring to when she said Daphne surgery. But so Daphne preferred to go to the Coop for her birthday. And I was like, Cheryl, it's your kid's birthday. Like, it's totally fine if you don't make it to class. Like, I really won't be offended. Like, I understand you're committed to fitness. Like, it's your kid's fucking birthday. Just take it off, whatever. And she goes, well, I'll try and come if I, depending on timing and everything. She showed up. Full of the Coop. So full. Like, full of whatever
And
she had and
I, like,
sangria
spent half
and
the class, like, nope, I'm good.
yeah. And for those of you that are just listening, that noise was Cheryl covering up her mouth, trying to not gag on all of the food she might have tasted again if class was any harder.
Oh. But it was worth it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth it.
But I think fitness related, like that's been my biggest thing. So I made this commitment to do classes.
Yes.
And I've tried to be more mindful with my food choices.
Yes.
But I am not in a state of mind to be like, no, you can't eat that.
Right.
And I don't know that I ever will be.
And that's okay, and that's totally okay. A lot of people have this, I don't know, this thought process of, well, you can just outwork a bad diet, right? And a lot of people, like, the best way that I can explain this as a coach is I can only do so much for you for the 3 hours a week that you are here, or more, maybe less. Some people don't come 3 times a week.
Right.
Some people only come 2. Some people only come 1 day a week, and that's okay. But I can only do so much for you in this building, in this time frame that you give me, that you are committed enough to come, to show up, to do the thing. And, I can only do so much for you. If you do class and you go home and eat 3 dozen Twinkies and you binge eat Oreos and you binge eat like McDonald's, coming once a week or even twice a week for that matter for 2 hours isn't going to do anything for your physical body. You cannot outwork a bad diet.
Right.
90% of fitness is in your kitchen.
I know, that's such a saying lately.
It is, and I thought it was so stupid.
It's like
I thought
abs are built in the kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so dumb for such a long time because I'm like, no, man, watch this. You can do like 1,000 sit-ups and like have abs. And you absolutely can, but your body, your body literally just won't let you.
Right.
Because you're not putting in the things that your body needs to be able to show said definition, to be able to show weight loss, to be able to show like a sugar decrease, things like that. So yeah, it sounds dumb to say like abs are made in the kitchen, and like I hate it, right? I hate it. It's so stupid, and I don't want to say it to people, but as a coach, I can only do so much for you here. And it's it's literally all about what you do the second that you leave here. The second you get into your car. Do you drive to the closest Dunkin's and get like a bacon, egg, and cheese on a plain bagel with extra fucking fat. Like, do you do that, or do you go home and prep yourself a clean meal and eat that meal, or meal prep, or do whatever? Like, no one's perfect. Like, I am 100% not perfect. Like, I indulge in things that I probably know that I shouldn't.
But you know what? It's better to treat yourself than to completely deprive yourself.
Right.
Because, like, that's where you, like, slip up. Like,
Right.
if you don't let yourself have that Oreo cookie,
Mm-hmm.
2 months from now, you might eat the whole fucking bag.
Right.
Like.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And I think, too, people have this, like, this thought of, okay, I'm going to start fitness. I'm going to start working out. I'm just going to eat fucking celery and spinach for the next 10 weeks. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it's like, that is not a good.
It's not maintainable.
Yeah, it's you can't maintain that. It's not a good thought process to have. You're probably actually going to do more harm than good to your body of what you're trying to achieve, and people just forget that, man.
I think that's like another example too, because like, so we eat out every once in a while, but like just from like a financial standpoint, I try not to. Right. And like, I am that Susie homemaker.
You are. You really are. I am so jealous of
like, there are
Cheryl's
times where
Susie
I'm
homemaker
super proud
skills.
of that. Like, the other times I'm like, I'm such a cliche. Like,
but it's awesome and it's badass and I really admire it and I wish I could do that.
but like, so we do, like, I know what we're eating,
right,
because I'm cooking it, or I'm giving my husband a recipe and he is cooking it. And so it's kind of like, you know, try to only have one plate full.
mm-hmm.
But also, like, I want to set that example for the kids.
Right.
Of like you know us, like, we'll say fuck and
yeah,
bitch
right,
and shit in front of our kids. But I'm like, don't say the word fat. We don't use the F word.
Yeah, yeah, right. Fat is the F word in your home.
Fat is the F word in my house, because we're trying to have like that body positivity and like just show good choices.
Right.
And not like focus on like, oh no, I shouldn't have eaten that. Like,
right.
just have like good mojo towards our bodies, because
Right.
like,
yeah.
I don't know, kids are so impressionable.
They are.
And
I'm totally about that. And not necessarily about the word fat, but I'm also a big advocate of being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And like, I would never say to anybody like, oh, well, you're fat. Like, no. I would say, you probably aren't treating your body as you should.
Well, it's so funny, because if you want to like really be like body focused, I know some people who will say like, well, yeah, I am fat, but I'm not. Fat is something I have.
Right.
Fat is not something I am.
Correct.
But I'm just like, nope, we just don't even use that word.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
like,
funny,
you're
too.
beautiful and you're perfect, babe.
Right. And I admire that so much. And I think that's really, really awesome. And for me, as you guys will learn about me on this podcast, is I'm a big David Goggins fan. And for those of you that know who David Goggins is, do you know who David Goggins is?
I don't know.
Well, if you are sensitive to any sort of language or anything, he actually wrote an amazing book called Can't Hurt Me, and I have yet to read it, but I believe I did order it on Amazon. I don't know. But his life story is absolutely incredible, and I respect David Goggins so much. And he looked in the mirror one day and he was like, I'm going to be as honest, as brutally honest with myself as I possibly can be. And he was severely overweight, and he wanted to be a Navy SEAL, and he had all of these great, admirable aspirations in life. And he was like, he looked in the mirror and he was like, you are fat, you are overweight, you are this, you are that, you are this, you are that. And he was totally honest with himself, and he transformed himself and his life into what is known as Goggins, David Goggins. For those of you that know him, you understand what I'm talking about. So I think that sometimes in life, honesty is the best way to hold yourself accountable or hold other people accountable. Like, I will tell my clients, I will tell people, I would tell, like, you absolutely can do it. You're just being lazy. Yep. You absolutely can do it. You just have to think different. You absolutely are totally capable. You are 100% capable of doing this. You just have to convince yourself. Like, I say that all the time in class.
No,
like,
you're the biggest
yourself.
Pusher, and not a drug pusher. But like,
yes.
And like, there are times where I'm like, shit, I can't fucking do this.
Yeah.
And I'll pause.
Yes.
I'm sure. Yes. Like I think about like times when like, you're like taking pictures of the class
Oh,
or like
no.
a video
Yeah.
or something. And I'm just like on my knees dying.
Mm.
But like I always get back up.
Yes.
And I think as long as we just keep getting back up, like that's okay then.
The biggest thing for me is, and I try my best to remember this in my fitness journey as well, is learning how to rest but not quit. Even on that 4-mile run was learning how to rest and to walk, and having to like walk a little bit of it, but I didn't quit. Like I didn't just like stop and have a seat. Like I just continued to go, even like I'm pretty sure I ran by, like I got a couple honks.
You got honks the other day too.
Yeah, it was a weird experience. But
you're a hot chick.
Well, thank you.
You are, and you're like running down the street in your little shorts and your little tank top.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn.
But I have, the reason I keep like my headphones, bandana or hat, like sunglasses, is so no one can see my face underneath, because the entire time it's just like I'm pulling a Ronda Rousey and just like looking at you through my eyebrows, and like it's not a good look.
No, you still look cute. I work out and like my face turns beet red. Like I'm just red the whole time. Like I don't know, it's like my inner Irish girl.
Yeah,
or something.
you do get pretty pink.
I do.
Yeah, and when we first started training together, I was like, "Fuck, is she okay? like, is she okay, or is she just like blushing? Like, is she nervous?"
No, I've yet to actually puke on you, so that's a positive.
That's a plus.
But
nobody has. Well, actually, that's not true. I won't name drop, but there has been someone who did.
The feeling is always there, but no, I just get so red. I don't know. Like the
she
heat
just gets
goes
so
like
excited. She gets all
you,
excited in the face just for me and to do fitness. But yeah, like I know for me, like I know we were talking about things that you've achieved or that, whatever. For me, it's always like, okay, well, what else can I do? Like I did this, cool, like, well, what now? And for you, it's like I would be curious to hear what you would like to achieve for yourself going forward. And people have to remember, like, too, like, this is not just about, like, a weight loss journey. That's an entire other topic. But
for me, it's, like, intertwined. Like, in my head, I have this stupid number. And, like, I know numbers are stupid. Mm-hmm. Like, a number doesn't mean what your body's capable of.
Correct.
And your number is not, like, your value and your self-worth.
Right.
But, like, it's still there. Correct. I still wish there was a number on the scale. I still wish there was like a number in my pant size. Mm-hmm. But I think like for me, like I want a really good burpee. and I can't do a really good burpee.
Those are the types of fitness goals that I love hearing about.
Like I think about it every time you're like burpees. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. But like, okay, I can't do a full burpee. Like I do like a sprawly thingy bobby.
Not yet.
But like I think about it when I like go down, that like I still kind of go down like my fingertips a little bit and my wrist is up.
Yeah.
And I know like eventually that should be like flat.
Yeah.
If it's flat, I might not get back up again right now. I'm doing the best I can. But like I would like that to be more fluid and like the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
And like I would like to be able to run again. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes like so I ran more the other night than you know.
Really? Yeah.
Because I turned back. And then I did run because I was running to something.
Right.
And I did. I ran the whole distance.
Wow. I'm so proud of you. See, I never would have known that if we didn't do this. Yeah. I'm super proud of you, sis.
I ran the whole distance because I had something to turn back to.
Right.
And so that was something that always kind of kept me going in the past. Like I had this like super emo playlist that like fucked with your head and just made your body keep moving.
Right. But you have to though. You have to have those things.
Yeah. So like I think I just want to be like strong, and I want to show my kids that I can be strong, and like but also that like all bodies are okay too.
Right.
But like I think that those are my goals. Like I want to be healthier and stronger, and I want a better burpee, even though they're like that's a dirty word too. And
we don't say burpee at the dinner table.
Never.
Yeah. No, but that's really awesome. And like I said, I never would have known that you obviously ran that full distance. I was so proud of you that morning that we did do some running here. It was like one of the first really nice Saturday mornings here in awful
We have a
New
different
England.
like definition of nice.
We do. We do. I have, if it's like 190 degrees, 85, 80, like, and the sun is out and I can just stand outside and sweat, to me, that's a beautiful day. But to the rest of the world,
Give me 60s.
it's not such a good day. So it was a Caramia nice day out. And I told everyone to bring their running shoes and we were going to run or walk or whatever you could do as part of your warm up. And we had to go to the track downtown and then come back to the studio. And Cheryl, she was pushing it, man, and she was doing great, and she was walking, and she told some poor innocent man that was walking.
I told him to fuck off.
But it wasn't at him, it was at me. He just happened to be standing there, and he was, like, mortified. And she's like, not you, sir, it's the girl behind you. And then I was like, Cheryl, you run right to this sign and you touch that sign and you're done. And she was like, fuck off. And that's when she, like,
I can do it.
vocally told me to get lost. And then all of a sudden she just started booking it and she just started running and everyone started like, woo!
It's like so cliche because
started cheering for her, and I was so proud of you in that moment. Like, I was so proud, and I mean I think everyone there was just proud of everybody, but I was super proud of you because in that moment it's actually really hard to tell in class, right? So sometimes it's hard to keep like a bird's eye view on everybody because I'm trying to watch 10 or 12 people at once, and I'm trying to make sure everyone's clean is right and everyone's press is right and everyone's burpee is okay and like no one's hurting themselves and everyone's hitting their bag and blah, 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 blah. Like, I necessarily don't always have a little glimpse of you, like your personal achievement in class, if that makes sense. But that doesn't mean I'm not looking for it. But in that moment where you were just totally running alone by yourself and you didn't stop and you ran and you touched the sign and like we all went back together, like I was like, that's my girl. Like, but I was so proud of you.
Here's the thing. So like, one, everybody is super supportive. Yes. Like, even if people are at like different fitness levels than myself.
Yes.
Like they recognize that and they're like supportive of your effort regardless.
Yes.
But I will say, in regards to you, I would never know that you're not like watching me the entire time. You might yell my name like 8 times in a class.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And like it's heard.
Yes.
Like it is like felt.
Good.
And so no, like I feel like you give a lot of individualized attention.
Thank you.
And it's like, and it means something. So, and like, and then the other times you're yelling shit, I'm like, oh, is she talking about me? Is my hinge not right?
Yeah. No.
Pop your butt.
Yeah. Squeeze your ass.
And I'm like, I think my ass is good. I don't know.
Your ass is great. Don't worry. Well, that's really good to know. And like I said, these are probably things that I wouldn't have known if we didn't do, the Parabellum podcast together. But I try my best as a coach, and again, this episode, this is not about me, this is totally about Cheryl, but I really try my best to give everyone that, just even if it's just me calling your name and saying like Cheryl or Andrew or Sarah, like whoever it is, because I don't want anyone to ever feel like I ignored them or that they weren't a part of an awesome community, or they were falling behind, or when like a couple women that I've recently signed up for fitness, of being like, oh, please put me in the back because I just don't want to be seen, and please put me in the back because I don't think I'm going to do a good job, and please put me in the back because I really just don't want you to watch me the whole time. And it's like, it's literally my job.
See,
it's literally my job to watch you and make sure that you are doing an okay job.
So my mindset
and not going to hurt yourself.
Been the opposite.
Yeah.
So when you were on Ferry Street, I always put myself in the front.
Yes.
So that way nobody else saw me. Yes. So like you could see me and like you could help correct me, because like I want that correction.
Right, I do too.
I want to know that like I'm doing it right, or that
Right.
I've improved, or like I could do this better.
Right.
Or like, yeah, you did it the best you could, and like, and I see that. So I always put myself in the front.
Yeah.
I feel like here I'm in the back, but I'm just going for the fan, yo.
She really is. You know, we only have a couple outlets, and we have an industrial little fan, and it gets plugged in the back of the studio.
There are fan wars.
Yeah, there are fan wars. A woman, Holly, actually walked right behind one of our newest members and took the fan out of the wall. And plugged it in to where she was standing, and
then
had
halfway through class, Missy took it back.
like never. If you went to like a title boxing, or if you went to any like Orange Theory, like I don't think there are any students just fighting over fans. But that happens here sometimes at Driven Fit.
That's how
at
hard
Driven
you work
Elite.
us.
Yes, that's right. Don't
We
forget
are
it.
like sweating, like saturated to the core.
I love it. And
I've
it's
never
super
sweat so
awesome.
much.
Good.
I will say that all my years of like random fitness, like up
Things.
and down, I've never
Sweat so much.
sweat like this. Is that an achievement?
I don't know. I think it might be.
You'll take it.
But yes, I will take it. I will absolutely take it. And I get poked fun at because I don't really sweat much.
But you do.
I do sweat. I also wear Sweet Sweat. Check out Sweet Sweat online. They have an awesome Sweet Sweat band, which is something that you wrap around your core, so you sweat like even more, and you rub like this awesome coconut. It's.
But you've got like an awesome core.
Thank
okay,
you.
because like that's the thing. Like if I wrapped one of those bands around me,
Nah, sis, they have
things
so
would be
many.
like.
No, actually, I'll be honest with you. I'll be straight with you for a minute. Is like, I wear it because when I'm going to lift heavy, I like the brace.
It's like a support. Yeah,
it's
I
like
get
a support.
that.
I really like that. If I'm gonna lift fucking heavy and I'm trying to go for deadlifts or I'm trying to do anything, or if it presses even, the tighter I pull it, it's a reminder of keeping my back flat, which I do anyways. But it's just like that extra reminder. Plus, it gives me a good sweat, which is really nice. But I'm always made fun of for like always being a chihuahua and always being like cold. Yeah, always being cold.
Like, and like you look
like a
small
chihuahua
and innocent, but like you're gonna fucking bite a bitch. Like
yes, I will.
I mean, I'll cut a bitch for breakfast.
That's right.
Like
yeah, that almost happened once. Cheryl and I almost went out for a breakfast date, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but I was excited.
She was excited. She was here for the fight.
I was. And speaking of being cold, I put on this Patriots Provision hoodie, going to a hashtag ad real quick. No, it's really not an ad. But yeah, so I work with this brand. I shouldn't say work with. I think we're just like friends on the internet.
They love you. You're beautiful and you look good in their clothes.
Thank you. And yeah, so Patriots Provision is a very like so much America going on. They are such awesome people. Check out their brand called Patriots Provision. You can find them online, find them on Instagram. I tag them in pretty much everything. And if you want to save some money on one of these awesome, comfy, cozy, delicious, yummy hoodies. They come in all colors, and they have t-shirts, they have shorts. I actually wear their shorts so much in class.
I actually checked them out online.
Yeah.
I did. And they have like a good size range too.
They do. They are awesome. And I talked to their owners or whoever on Instagram, and they are super awesome and super cool people. And I'm super excited that I have such a good relationship with such an awesome American made company.
Absolutely.
And they're like, I believe, like veteran owned and everything like that. And I have so much respect for that. So if you guys check out Patriots Provision, Patriots Provisions on Instagram or online, I can save you some money just by listening to this podcast. If you use the code CARMIA10 at checkout, you will save yourself some money at Patriots Provisions. So
that means that they have to know your whole name though.
Oh, yes.
This is not Coach Mia.
That's not my full name.
Cara Mia.
Yes. Sometimes my full name, Karamia, is not. That's honestly why on this podcast I don't really go, "Hi, I'm Karamia Pandozzi, and I'm going to be your host," because that's kind of a mouthful.
But you should, girl. You should just rock it.
Yes,
I mean,
you.
I'm Cheryl Smith. Like, how
Yes,
generic and American can you get?
But it's great. It's great.
Did I mention I'm married to Joe Smith and there's a John Smith?
Yeah, like Joe Smith, John Smith, everything.
All the Smith.
Right, all the Smith. So my next thing for you would kind of be, on the tail end of this is, what would you say to your past self? If you could look at your past self, what would you say to her? What would you say to young Cheryl?
Oh. I mean, are we talking like fitness related or just like all the mistakes I've made in life?
I think it's kind of up to you at this point of what you want to say to her. Like, what would you say to her?
You are priceless.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
I love that.
Find somebody who treats you right. Like, don't settle because you think this is what you're supposed to do or because you're afraid to be wrong.
Right. I think that's a lot of people's fears, is just always afraid of being wrong. Yeah. I know for me, that's definitely one of my fears as a coach or a Kempo instructor, or being with such like well-known people in the industry of like, oh shit, like I don't want to be wrong because then I make them look bad, or I don't want to be wrong because of something that might happen to me or affect my career or affect what other people think about me because I was wrong. So I totally hear you.
I think that's where it's at. Like, do I regret things? I don't, because like if I hadn't followed this course in life, like I wouldn't have my kids, and like they are my purpose in life.
Right.
But like, you shouldn't have married that man.
Oh boy.
Poor Cheryl.
Yeah.
like you know, like there were things I could have done differently, but would it put me in the same trajectory right now? It wouldn't have.
Yes.
So like,
of course,
I would still do things the exact same way I did.
Yeah.
But like, you could do better. Mm-hmm. Like, don't like just always know you can do better in life.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty powerful.
And if you don't put yourself out there, you'll never know. The answer's always no if you don't ask.
Correct. Yeah. I never really understood what that meant until I obviously got older and became an adult. But I totally understand that. Yeah. I think that's a really powerful thing.
And that's like in all elements of life. Like your relationships, but also like your career or your hobbies. Like you never know until you actually try. Right. And if you don't try, the answer's no.
Right. Right. I think a lot of people forget that too. Like, you know, with anything, like I didn't know that I could do this. I didn't know that I could do a podcast. I didn't know that I could run a business. I didn't know that I could be a second degree going for my third degree black belt. Like I didn't know that I could do these things, and I kind of always talked myself down. And talking yourself down, there's a difference I feel between being humble and also just flat out disregarding what you're capable of, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And like I think another big thing, and like we've talked about this too, is like age is a number.
Correct.
Like you are as old as you feel.
Correct.
And I remember I told you like one night, like the only difference between you and I is like the face moisturizer that we use.
Yes, like, I remember that.
Other than that,
very
like,
vividly.
Like your love life, your work life, your home life, like everything. It doesn't matter if you're 25, 35, 45. Like you have the same struggles.
Right.
But like don't forget to moisturize.
Don't forget to moisturize. That's right. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I think that's a pretty powerful thing. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. Or if you don't try, the answer will always be no. And I think that leads me into my next and final question for you tonight, Cheryl, is a lot of people in the fitness industry, and I'm talking about fitness primarily with Cheryl because Cheryl doesn't study martial art of any kind. She doesn't train Kempo. She doesn't, anything like that. She is primarily...
I'm a Kempo mom.
She's a Kempo mom. And
still waiting on that sweatshirt. No.
She does know things about martial arts, but people in the fitness industry always talk about your quote unquote why. Like, why do you want to do this? Why? Like, what is your why? What is your reason? Very, very awesome person, awesome woman that I follow, Hannah Eden. Her entire business really is created on this quote called "Find Your Reason," and I tried to talk about that a lot. Or I try to talk about, obviously not on the same manner because it's kind of her thing, but in the same way of finding your purpose. Like, what's your drive? That was part of the reason why we named it Driven, was because what's your drive? What's your purpose? What's your reason? What's your why that you want to come here and destroy your body for an hour? And why do you want to do these things? Why do you want to train martial arts? Why do you have this thing that's in you to continue to do that? So for you, like, what would be your quote unquote why?
I feel like there's so many aspects to that answer. Like, this is my kids' thing.
Yep. Yes.
And
yes.
Like,
how many years did your children or child, because it was just Colton, right?
Yeah.
For a while. Daphne really didn't start until we kind of came along. How many years was it?
So Colton is hitting.
He told me the other day it was 5 years.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started karate when he was 6. So he's been doing Kempo for 5 years.
Wow.
And then Daphne, I mean, you guys have been Driven for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
So
that's
Daphne
right.
has been in it for 2 years.
Wow. Yeah.
And so like, one, it's like a way to connect with them.
Right.
Which, like, it gives you that moment to be like a person and not just a mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to better myself.
Yep.
I want to live a long time. I want to be there. I want, like, those years where I'm not just a mom too. Like, they're going to grow up and they're going to be adults. And, like, I just want that, like, fun time in life.
Right.
It's like, it's coming. It's getting there slowly as they get older.
The fun time as an adult with your parents is really weird.
Right?
But it's really cool. Like, I remember the first time that, like, I had a drink with my parents or, like, something like that. And, like, I felt like I was going to get in trouble.
Right.
Because it's a weird thing to share.
And then they refill your cup and you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. But as an adult, it's cool to have, like, to be able to share, like with my dad or stepdad Luke, it's like we share business things now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can talk like two adults running businesses, and it's just, you know, we run totally different businesses, but it's just like a cool thing to be able to talk with your parents about things like that. So yeah, the adult time is coming.
So I feel like it's a combination. It's like, this is where my kids are, and, like, I want to connect with them on that level. And like my future is coming, and I want to be, like, strong and, like, present for it. But also, like, I just want to feel good about myself. And carving out this time 3 times a week has made me a happier person. It's made me a better parent. And, like, I am worthy of stuff for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And new leggings every 6 months or whatever it was that you said for yourself. But yeah, you absolutely are. And I think that that's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I think that that's a really awesome thing. I can't wait to be able to continue to do this podcast and have other people on and find out their whys. I think that that's a really, really awesome thing.
It's hard. It's, like, so hard.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, I always feel better about myself.
Yeah, shit's
and even
hard,
if
man.
I'm not where I want to be, like, I know I'm doing something.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if I make you run and you don't always want to, even if I
make me do a lot of shit I want to do.
Yeah. And I'm also sorry, not sorry.
She's not sorry. She'll be like, so sorry, guys. No, she ain't sorry.
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. But that's a really awesome why. And I think you wanting to live a long time, and I think you wanting to enjoy your children's, like, adulthood and
that,
everything
and
like that is super, super awesome.
But
that's awesome.
The empty nester time is coming soon too. Like,
empty nester.
Empty nester. Shit, that's when your kids move out.
Oh, my parents have been empty nesters for a while. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That's the name. Like, so when your kids move out, like, I don't know, they go to college or they get their own homes. They get, I don't know, like, people move out at different ages nowadays. But, like, empty nester, the kids are gone. They've flown the coop. Yeah, the coop.
Yeah.
You should go eat there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they fly the coop, and then, like, it's just you and your partner in life, or
Right.
you and yourself, and
Right.
like being happy and, like, content and confident in who you are.
Yeah.
And like that time's coming.
Yeah.
Like they're only 11, but it's still going to come. It's going to sneak up on me. And
right.
like, I just want to be happy and like ready.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's super awesome. And, you know, you are so encouraging and you are so badass. You absolutely are. And you probably have to be one of the most positive people I've ever met. In my entire existence, in my entire life, you have to be one of the most positive people I've ever met. Even the days that you have come in here and in a sort of, I don't want to say bad mood, because I've never even witnessed you in a bad mood before. I would say of a frustrated or upset or whatever mood, like you are still such a positive person. And I feel that you are such a positive light for not only me, but for a lot of people in this class and in this industry. I think it's really awesome.
Work definitely takes a toll on me.
Yeah.
And having a family. Like, I mean, I love my husband.
Yeah.
I love my kids. It still takes a toll on you. You can still have fights and frustrations.
Right. Yep.
And even class, like I'm totally your crier. I haven't cried recently, but I definitely have
I have seen that.
Cried
I have seen
in
that,
class
and I have
before.
respectfully ignored it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Because I always push through it. Like I don't know why it happens, but it just happens.
It does. It happens. I wanted to cry yesterday on my run. Like I full on wanted to just cry.
Yeah.
Because people were looking at me because I literally was yelling like, I don't want to run anymore. Like through my Beats headphones. Like I literally just did not, my body just did not want to run anymore.
Right.
And I had already done a pretty, for those of you that know her, Ashley Horner, I'm doing her Transform You challenge, and I'm on week 8.
You're rocking.
And I am doing, I had to do sets of 50 things and then run a 5K, and I just did not want to do it. Like I said, I was trying to find people to do it with me, so I didn't have to do it alone.
Notice she didn't call me. Because I was out drinking.
Yes. But I have definitely cried. There has been, like you can ask him, like there has been so many times that I have just cried during, whether it's my Kempo training or whether it's through my fitness training or whatever. And I read this quote one time, and this sounds very cliche, but I read this quote one time that really stuck with me, and it stuck with me more so now as a coach or just a teacher of kids or adults, is that if someone is being noble enough to not show you that they're crying, sometimes the noble thing of you is to not acknowledge it.
I hear that.
So I remembered that, and one of the first times that I saw you cry in class, I was like,
it happens pretty often.
No, it doesn't. It did at one point.
It did at one point.
Now it doesn't anymore. But I remembered, like, she's being brave enough to shed a couple tears and be emotional in class. And I think the brave thing of me would to just be to have her have that moment.
It's so funny because like sometimes it's like a frustration within myself.
Of course.
And then other times it's like, oh, last week she played this song and you cried. So now you're going to cry again.
Fair. That's
like, do you
fair.
remember you had a hard time last week when the song played?
Yes, that's fair.
And then it triggers.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Did I mention I work in mental health?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's, I definitely try and think about that no matter what. Like, you are definitely not the first and definitely not the last person that I have seen cry on the mat.
And for me personally, it's like, and that's one of the awesome things about your classes is like there's always like a change up.
Thank you. Yeah.
There's always something that's happening. So like for me, I'm probably crying during a body weight thing because it's so challenging for me. But then all of a sudden it's like you're on your bag again and like let me hit that fucking thing and then I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. It reels you back in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Cheryl, for being the first guest on the Parabellum podcast.
Thank you for letting me be your person.
Of course. And I certainly hope that this won't be the first, the first and last time that you're on here. And I hope in, 6 months from now, we can hear more about your fitness journey and kind of where you're at and how you feel and everything like that. And I'm super excited to be hosting this podcast. I'm super excited for all of the people that we're going to have on here and all of the things that we're going to talk about. So thank you so much for giving me your time and, letting all of that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got my number.
Yes. And thank you so much for this awesome drink.
Right? My Tais. That's where it's at.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to our first podcast on the Parabellum podcast. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Bye.